Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the NS9 postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm your host, Anthony Donardo. With me, we have Jim Rosati. Jim, Pirates win 8-3 today. A Pirates victory. Mitch Keller saying, what the hell? How you doing?
I'm doing good. It was a hot one today, and the Bucks bats, they heated up. So
yeah, they came out in a big way today. Again, the Pirates scored 8 runs. It wasn't looking so great early on. But like, I don't know what happened. The second time through the lineup, the second half of the lineup, they decided like, hey, you know what? Let's show up today and score some runs. And they did. Spencer Horwitz had a good game. Brian Hayes had a game. Tommy Pham had 2 doubles. Jim, what is going on?
it was the Tommy Pham legacy game today, is what that was. Tommy Pham hadn't had an extra base hit since April 26th, almost 60 days ago, and he gets 2 today. 2 extra base hits for Tommy Pham.
You know what that means? If he can get 2 extra base hits, that means somebody or 2 people deserve 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches today as well. So you guys know the drill. If you haven't already, get those hashtag raised. It's in the comments, so that way we can select the 2 winners for the 2 Primanti Brothers sandwiches at the end of the show. But yeah, again, like this is a fun game. I enjoyed this one.
It was well, it got fun. It looked like it was going to be that standard typical awful Pirates game for the first 4 innings or so. And then, the Pirates got to Leiter, got him out of the game early, and this Caleb Boushley dude who the Rangers put in to just throw until the game was over.
No respect.
I mean, it's not very often that you get 10 hits off of a relief pitcher, but the Pirates did it today. So thank you, Rangers, for kind of just giving this game away. I mean, honestly, is kind of what happened.
They did. And again, it was something for all of us to enjoy. And I'll tell you what, if you want to enjoy more things, BetOnline continues to be your #1 source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay on the game, in the action with the latest odds, news and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. BetOnline, the game starts here. I'm with you, Jim. I mean, of course, I was looking that way early on, but I mean, even early on, the Pirates scored 2 runs. Like they had that inning where they scored 2 runs. They couldn't capitalize any further. And you're right. Like, I mean, we both jokingly said, like, well, that's it. This is it. This is done. Ironically enough, those 2 runs were also earned on the back end of this lineup. But yeah, like they didn't stop. They did get to later a bit there, got pulled, and then they were relentless afterwards. We kind of ragged a little bit on Spencer Horwitz today because he hasn't really shown up so far this year, albeit it's been 113 plate appearances, but still it's 113 plate appearances at this point in time. What is this trade? Where's the fruit-bearing offense that this trade was supposed to give the Pirates, and it hasn't really been there? Well, Spencer took that personally.
Yeah, he hopped on Instagram today and saw your graphic that you made of how bad he was playing, and he raised his weighted runs created plus today by 14 points from 70 to 84. OPS now up to 665. So, I mean, it's creeping up there. It was a good day for pretty much everyone offensively, except O'Neal Cruz. It's like O'Neal Cruz and IKF, they struggled. So like the bookends of the lineup, but everyone else, I mean, even Kutch got that hit at the end. Probably could have been a double if this was a close game and he needed to stretch it. But I mean, Reynolds, Gonzalez, Horwitz, Hayes, Pham, all great offensively today.
They did. Now, I'll say this isn't excuses. It is baseball. IKF did have a hard hit. Cruz had 2 hard hits today. That was something as well. I mean, this team was hitting the ball and hitting it pretty hard. Now, there were some that was like the Brian Hayes RBI early on. You're like, I mean, it's hard hit, but it was like the pennant, Cabron Hayes, -10 launch angle, hard hit to the ground, but it got through. But yeah, I mean, it counts what? I mean, there was like over a dozen, I feel, hard hits by the Pirates today. They came out. They came out. So again, good offense. I do want to talk a little about the pitching. I don't understand the pitching. I don't understand this team. Bailey Falter did not look good today either. He was all over the place. He was walking everybody. Balls were going everywhere out of his hand. And somehow or another, he puts up 2 earned runs.
3.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, his stat line at the end of the day, 5 1/3 innings, 3 runs, but I mean, he gave up 6 hits, 5 walks. He only struck out 1. He threw a wild pitch that was in there too. Yeah, it wasn't the best that we've seen of of Bailey Falter. It was one of his worst outings, really, that I can remember this year. But he was able to dance out of some damage a lot. And I think one thing too, like the double plays helped him early on. He had 2 early double plays to really get him out of some jams, and some just great defense by the Pirates. It was a pretty rough series defensively all around up until today. But like, I mean, Brian Hayes was just, it's games like this that just like frustrate you about how awful he is offensively, because like Brian Hayes like almost single-handedly just took over and won today's game for the Pirates. Like defensively, he saved at least 2 runs, maybe even 3. Like you could make an argument. And then on top of that, he drives in the first run of the game. He drives in the 6th run of the game. He gets 2 hits. I mean, just this is just like, if he can just be semi-competent at the plate. He's such an impactful player. And the fact that he just isn't, I mean, this game is not the normal offensive game for Brian Hayes. He normally doesn't give you 2 hits, especially when runners are in scoring position. But today he came through, and I mean, this was a huge game for him. He played a major part in today's win.
He really did. And that's the thing about Brian Hayes. That's what's so frustrating. And I understand why a lot of the fans don't appreciate the value that it brings, because it's really hard to quantify defense. A lot of stats try and whatnot. And, it's like when you see the RBI hit today and they score a run, people celebrate, right? When you see that defensive play that he made, like you mentioned, that saved about 2 runs, it's the defensive play. No one gets as excited, right? So the exciting parts is really not what he's good at. It's the other stuff that he's really, really good at that no one really recognizes to that level. But you're 100% correct. I mean, today he did a lot on the defensive side to prevent runs, and he also did the stuff on the other side to score runs. And that's just like the frustrating part. Like this year, he's having a tremendous year defensively, as he showcased today. When it comes to, third baseman, I mean, he has 18. I'm sorry.
He's having the best defensive season of his career. That's what makes this year so frustrating.
Right. And
it's his best season
alluding to is
ever.
His defense is great. Remember, like a few years past, and we're talking about this behind the scenes a little bit here, but like remember a few years back when he was like the mid 80s weighted runs created plus, like if he could just become an average hitter, he's like a 5 WAR player. But the 4 for him is like a 3 WAR player because of his defense. Well, the problem is his defense has been really, really good still, but his offense has fallen off. We were asking hopefully just get a little bit better, and it's gone tremendously worse. I
mean, he's borderline the worst hitter in baseball. I mean, let's just, and that's where it comes to you want to appreciate him for who he is defensively, but you can't. You literally can't appreciate Brian Hayes because of how awful he's been offensively. And that's the frustrating piece, because like you want to, I would love to appreciate Brian Hayes. I try to appreciate Brian Hayes as much as possible. But when you have a 280 slugging percentage and a 279 on base percentage, you just can't. You can't appreciate him.
Right.
But today he was great defensively. He got the job done at the plate as well. He needs to be better offensively. And I don't want to turn this. I mean, the Pirates won 8-3, so I don't want to dwell on too much negativity here.
Yeah, we're not.
Today was a good day for Ke'Bryan Hayes. Yeah.
Right. And I want to highlight that. Like, this Ke'Bryan Hayes is really, really good. If we can get this offensive side out of Ke'Bryan Hayes, there's a lot to appreciate. Again, like, I think fans would really, really turn and like him and stuff. I want to see more of this. Again, if he can just be a below average hitter at this point in time, he has a special talent. And today he showed it on both sides. So it was good for Ke'Bryan Hayes. But yeah, like, it didn't stop there. Like you mentioned, like, we talked about Spencer Horwitz, even again, Nick Gonzalez. I want to start seeing him come alive a bit. He did well. Joey Bart, I feel like, is coming a bit alive recently. Of course, he had the injury, but someone's coming back. I think we had like 4 hits and 5 plate appearances before this game, I believe. And then today, of course, he went 1 for 4 with a walk. He's looking a little bit better. And then, Tommy Pham, like I said, two doubles today. I don't know how to take this game now since that happened.
Saw a lot of people on Twitter, especially, being like, "Oh, well, we need to trade him now that his value's high." It's like, his value still not high. There's no
his value has
no high value here.
From DFA to DFA.
Yeah, Tommy Pham's breakout game today. If he had enough plate appearances to qualify, it would move him up to being the second worst hitter in baseball.
So there you go.
But he would have been he was the worst heading into today. Now second worst. So I mean, just skyrocketing up the charts.
Boom.
But no, I mean, it was a good game for him. He was hitting the ball hard. Like I said, 2 extra base hits. He hadn't had one, again, like I mentioned before. It's been almost 2 months since we've seen a Tommy Pham extra base hit. So having 2 of them today, you gotta love that. Like I said, shout out to the Rangers for just letting Caleb Boushley throw 72 pitches because the Pirates were just teeing off on him.
Yeah. I feel like we've kind of been all around because there's been a lot of parts that we really wanted to talk about. But yeah, like, definitely the focus on the game. So again, 15 hits the Pirates had in total, 3 walks, just 3 strikeouts. So that was something in this game too. Just 3 strikeouts. That was kind of impressive. Again, the Pirates were definitely, this is one of the games we're talking about. This isn't a team that, like in years past, huge strikeout numbers. This team can have them, but I don't feel like that's their MO, right? They're not like a complete outlier. They're towards the bottom, but they're kind of in that bunch of, where the strikeout rates are and such. And today kind of showed it. Again, just 3 strikeouts. They're making contact, some hard hits, some things were falling. But anyways, again, like where do you really want to hone in on this game?
I mean, it was the offense, really, that was the story here. If you go, so Falter was rough. Falter was allowing base runners left and right. Like I said, he was able to dance around it most innings. The Rangers did put up 2 runs there in the second. But when you look at the Pirates' 4th inning here, this is where I kind of joked. If you're in the Discord, by the way, join the Discord. If you're not, links in the description. It's fun, especially during games. But the Pirates, Bart and Horwitz single to put 2 on there in the 4th. And it's like, all right, well, the Pirates got something going. And then you look and it's like, Ke'Bryan Hayes, Tommy Pham due up. And you're like, they're not going to score here. That's just not going to happen.
What happened though in our conversation, Jim, at that point?
Ke'Bryan Hayes, hits one down the line, the right field line. Again, hits it hard, but right into the ground. But it's just perfectly placed ball. Like no one's over there. He gets an RBI single, and then Tommy Pham with a sac fly. And next thing you know, it's 2-2, and you're like, okay, they got something there. They got more than something there. They got 2 runs. They tied this game up. It's a new ball game now, and you were expecting nothing out of that inning. So I think that's where things really just turned around here. They said it was 2-0 game. Everybody was looking pretty lifeless. Jack Leiter was looking pretty good. Like we couldn't really get anything going off of him. And then to get those 2 runs off of him in the 4th, and then to knock him out in the 5th. I mean, he walks O'Neal Cruz to start the 5th, and then you get Leiter out of the game. They go to Boushley, and the Pirates just tee off on Boushley in that 5th inning.
They really did. And part of that too, some guy we haven't talked about is Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds with 3 hits today. We keep hearing about June Reynolds. We keep waiting to see it. All year, been waiting to find and see Brian Reynolds. And I feel like there's been about 4 times where we've also mentioned, like, I think we're in the midst of the breakout. And that's dissipated. It's gone away. It's and the most recent one was like the end of May. It's like, oh, okay, well, he's getting prepared for June Reynolds. And then June came and it fell off. Just had the baby. Now he's back. 3 hits today. And I'll say this too. He was hitting the ball well also. This wasn't like the few Brian Hayes hits or whatnot. Like, he was hitting the ball pretty hard. 3 hits for today as well for Brian Reynolds, as well as a walk. One of the better offensive games I've seen from Brian Reynolds in a long time. Also, be nice to see him starting to turn things around. Also, because we talked about how this team needs offense, and Kutch has been good, very, very even killed. I'll say as well.
Kutch
Not
has been
too many
good
peaks
and
and valleys for
consistent.
him.
Yep.
But O'Neal Cruz is struggling mightily right now, and I do want to talk about him just a tad a bit as well. We talked about him a few days ago, but he's struggling a lot right now. So if Brian Reynolds can find his form once again, this offense certainly needs it.
Well, you add Nick Gonzalez, who, like I said, Nick Gonzalez is no special player, but he's a competent major leaguer who gives you good at bats. He goes up there swinging. He hits the ball hard. Like, there's no one else probably on this team that I want hitting like in a situation where like you need to drive or run in, just because he's going to put the ball in play for the most part. Like, he's going to come up there swinging. He's not going to let balls go by. So like Nick Gonzalez being plugged into this lineup over the last 3 weeks or whatever has at least added another major league caliber hitter to your lineup. Whereas before, going into a month ago, all you had this year was Cruz and Kutch and Bart for parts of it. But he's been in and out of the lineup. He hasn't really been able to stick in there, and he hasn't been able to provide any sort of slugging, but he's been hovering around like a league average bat for most of the year. So now when you got Gonzalez back, you've got Bart back, that's at least given you some like that's a league average hitters, which is just, that's all this team needs to be competitive, is just be not terrible. Just don't be terrible. Don't be terrible offensively, and they're going to compete because their pitching is pretty damn good. And like I said, today wasn't even their best pitching day, but you need these hitters to just start performing the way that they can. And like I said, they don't have to be special. This doesn't have to be a special offense. It just has to be, it just has to not suck. That's it. Like, it just has to not suck. And in order to get to that point, like, Nick Gonzalez needs to keep doing what he's doing. Spencer Horwitz needs to turn it around, which you saw today. I mean, 3 hits, 2 doubles for Horwitz. Like, he needs to be the guy who you expected him to be when you brought him in. And I don't think any of us were expecting like 120 plus weighted runs created plus out of Spencer Horwitz. Like, we weren't expecting a top 5 first base bat here. But we were expecting somebody who could play the position well defensively, which he's been doing, but a semi-competent hitter who can drive runs in if asked, and get on base and spark the offense. He hasn't been doing that up until now, and he did that today. He scores 3 runs today. He drives into, like, that's what they need out of Spencer Horwitz, is they need him to at least be close to what he was last year. And so again, hopefully it's just one game. This offense has been terrible for a really, really long time, but they need some of these hitters who have been really bad to just start playing to their potential. That's what they need.
Absolutely. And I think like today is a good demonstration of this. Bailey Falter was well off of his game. He still finds a way to win. That's what Bailey Falter has been doing. He's been winning games. He's been dominating. But even the games that he hasn't been really on for, it's still not like, I haven't really seen it, at least it's been a while, the Bailey Falter implosion, where he might go 3 and give up 7 or something. Like, you're not really seeing that. And again, today he was awful on the mound. Awful. 3 earned run, 5.1 innings. Like, that's still keeping your team in the game. allowing them to. And I think what you're seeing with his offense, it's like all we really want, like you talk about Spencer Horwitz, like you don't need to be like the 120 weighted runs created plus guy. Like really think about like the way this offense is right now. If everyone was just league average, like that's where we're at. Like Spencer Horwitz can't be a 70 weighted runs created plus guy, right? He can't be 30% below league average. If he was just 100, which you feel like he should be capable of, at least that. If Nick Gonzalez can be league average, right? If the combination of Joey Bart and Henry Davis could be league average, and then you know what? Fine, we'll give Cabrine just be 15% below average, like you yourself back in the day, because that glove plays. It's like, you know what? With the way this pitching is, that's a solid enough lineup. It's deep enough. There's not automatic outs for the most part. It's outside of like maybe Tommy Pham, the left field, situation. But Kutch is good. Reynolds can become good if Cruz maybe more consistent. But even regardless of that, Cruz is a good hitter. And a catalyst at the top of the lineup. If you just have depth of guys that are just capable hitters, then yeah, Bailey Falter can give up 3 earned runs and you still have a chance in this game.
Yeah, and I don't want to downplay the defense today. I mean, like I said, Cabrine Hayes with that play in the 3rd inning in particular, like it could have been 4-0 right then and there, and he keeps it a 2-0 game. So, yeah, Falter was not great today, but he was picked up from by the defense. He was picked up by the offense. Yeah, like I said, they just these guys that there's no one coming. I think that's the thing here that sucks is like you look in AAA and it's like there's no one here to help this team. This is it. Like these are the guys. Jack Sawinski's not coming up here and saving this team. Nick York, who's hitting below average in AAA, isn't coming up here and saving this team. Billy Cook isn't coming up here and saving this team. Like no one even here is saving this team. Like this team is beyond saved at this point. But
now someone didn't listen to Ben's radio show today.
But what we want to see here is just like from this point forward, like give us some competent baseball that we can watch and enjoy. And like the only way that they're going to accomplish that is for this group of guys that are here to start playing to their potential. Because again, like there's no one there's no one on the horizon to help. This is it. This is your team. Bed was made this offseason. This is what we have to deal with. They got to be better. And today they were better, but today's just 1 of 162. And so we need to continue seeing Horwitz, Gonzalez, Hayes. I mean, Pham can be better. Like there's no way Pham's the worst hitter in baseball. I mean, he's never been that. And so it's like, just be better. That's it. Now I'm fine with just mixing things up and going a whole other direction, but like, they got to be better. So today was fun. Today was fun.
It was fun. It was good. And again, I know we've been harder on some of these guys, but I don't expect Horwitz to be as bad as he is. Like he has to be better, right? Nick Gonzalez is good and he's coming back around. I know there's a lot of injuries he's coming back to and such, like, whatever. But yeah, like Cabrine Hayes has to be better. And he's better than what he is. He has to be better than the 4th worst hitter in baseball, essentially, right? What you
hope he's better. You hope, but I mean, this is now 2 years. Like we're now 2 years into this. This might be who he is. I don't know, but if it is, that's not good enough. Like
since the start of last year, right? It's now over 168 games. Since the beginning of last year, and it's 567 OPS in that time frame. Like that's terrible. And last year you could blame it on the bad back, and this year the excuse is kind of gone, and the results are pretty much the same. So he has to start picking it up some. But again, like if he can be just a below league average hitter, he can be a tremendous player in that sense. So the offense came out. It was nice to see finally. Again, 8 runs. Let's talk a little bit about this bullpen too. I know it was kind of out of reach at that point in time. You could say the Rangers laid down, whatever. But the bullpen came in and they did their job as well as they seemingly have. This is a different bullpen in my point of view from like the beginning of the year where there's struggles. Of course, there was a Holderman involved, but there's a lot of guys that weren't really in here. Now you have the Ashcrafts, the Majinskis, right? Bednar's back. He's performing as well. Like this bullpen has been pretty solid today. No different. Caleb Ferguson comes in. Caleb Ferguson pitches 1.2 innings, 2 strikeouts, no hits, no walks. Dennis Santana comes in, maybe his last game before he goes under suspension. 1 earned run. a strikeout, no hits, no walks. And then David Bednar also comes into the game. It's not a save, but he closes it out, ends the game. 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, no hits, no walks. Also, David Bednar just, I think you and I debated maybe a week and a half ago. Are we going to say he's back? You said he's back. I'm there. I'm back.
He's been really good. I mean, he's been really, really, really good. He hasn't given up an earned run in June. Not a one. He hasn't given up an earned run since May 23rd. It's been a month now since David Bednar has given up an earned run. He's been just super solid. He's throwing strikes. And I think that was just what was refreshing about the bullpen today is, we saw Falter go out there and struggled with his command, and Ferguson, Santana, and Bednar just went in today and threw strikes and was like, "Hey, here's my stuff. Go and hit it." And the Rangers couldn't hit it. So, they cleaned everything up quite nicely. I mean, Ferguson, Santana, Bednar, those are the 3 guys in that bullpen who I'm most confident in right now. They made it a stress-free second half of the game. Once the Pirates got that lead, this thing was pretty much on ice at that point.
It certainly was. And you had a highlight. You said the month. Yeah, it's been 12 straight appearances from David Bednar, 12 straight innings where he has allowed no runs. 3 hits in that time frame, 2 walks, and then 16 strikeouts. And it's not as if that's when the thing started. Like, since he's come back from AAA, we keep showing those numbers. I feel like every week to just kind of expand upon to show how well he's been. Mm-hmm. The guy's been dominant, and he's been dominant. Like, this is vintage David Bednar. He is back. I am ready at this point in time. I said, I'm encouraged. I like what I see. At this point, I'm ready. Like, he is back. This isn't just a hot stretch. He looks every bit good. And now he's at the point too where he's starting to look untouchable again. So what a turnaround for him. And again, this is now turning, like, I know the bullpen gets a lot of heat, and we talk about the Mitch Keller starts and the Paul Skeens, and it's not really so much that the bullpen's giving up the games. It's really more of the offense. The bullpen has done a really good job recently. Again, the parts that you want to see. And a big part of that is David Bednar. I can't talk enough about David Bednar at this point in time too. So he's back, man. He is back.
I mean, season numbers back. I mean, he's got a 3.04 ERA now.
Right.
He's been one of the better players on this team. And I think people, at the beginning of the year were everyone was very upset with how last year went. They didn't like how spring training went. And then he didn't start off the year all that great either. But 3.04 ERA now, 2.09 FIP. It's weird to say this. This might be the best version of David Bednar that we've ever seen. And he's been a 2-time All-Star.
That's quite possible.
His FIP is the lowest it's been in his career.
This stretch of games? Yeah. Again, this is coming in today. Obviously get better, but since coming up from AAA, he had a 2.19 ERA, and his FIP was a 1.48 in that time frame. So 24.2 innings pitched today. Of course, will be 25.2. 18 hits, 5 walks, 37 strikeouts in 25.2 innings. Again, this isn't just David Bednar getting lucky and finding some ground balls. I mean, this guy is just purely dominating the opposing batter. And that's what the 37 strikeouts in 25.2 innings.
It's his highest walks. It's his highest strikeout rate of his career this year, and his lowest walk rate of his career. Right.
Yeah. Now. So we've hinted it. We've talked about it. Story for another time. But I'm fully in on extension season for David Bednar.
Yeah. I mean, I talked about it on Bucko Brew a couple weeks ago, and it was like, this is a guy who he's good and he wants to be here. So lock him up. I'm not trading David Bednar. But for sure. That's a whole other conversation. We'll have plenty of time leading up to the deadline to argue who needs to go and who needs to stay. But he's been wildly impressive.
As Santana, also, to give him his props here.
Santana too. I mean, Santana just every time out there. I mean, 8 pitches today, 8 pitches, 6 strikes, 1, 2, 3. That's just the dude's the most efficient pitcher I think I've ever seen.
That's right. He might not be able to connect on a punch, but he's very efficient in getting out of an inning.
Hopefully that suspension gets lowered a little bit. I feel like it'll go from like 4 to maybe 3 or 2, but he will be suspended. It's only a matter of time before that ruling comes.
Anyway, so the Pirates win 8-3 today. It was very, very nice to see. Any last words before we give out some sandwiches?
No, let's give out some sandwiches. # raise it in the comments if you haven't yet.
Which, by the way, you haven't yet. I see only 85 entries. You haven't yet.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do so.
Put that in there. # raise it. But yeah, that's all I got. We'll have more to talk about Bucko Brew tomorrow. I've got thoughts. I've got thoughts on how things are going.
All right. So let's go ahead and get on it. Here's your last chance. 86 now. Jim, tell everyone what to do at this point in time if they haven't, or if they've already done that # raise it. What's your next steps?
Yeah, if you've already done # raise it, go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. Yeah, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend about NS9. And if you're listening on the podcast, leave a review, leave a rating, leave a review.
A good one.
Yeah, only good ones.
No. Notorious DIP 412. You are our first winner of sandwiches. Congratulations. If you don't know the drill, go ahead and DM us either on like Twitter, Instagram, what have you. Or you can email us at northshore9@gmail.com. All I need is your email address attached to your Primanti Brothers app. So if you don't have the app, download it, sign up for it, give me that email, and then those 2 sandwiches will be on your app digitally. So that way you can enjoy some Primanti Brothers sandwiches. So congratulations, Notorious DIP. On to our next winner, Jim. Matt. Boy, Matt Holio, you are our second winner. Same thing, you know what to do. Give us your email address associated with your Primanti Brothers app, and then we'll get those to you as well. So there's our 2 winners today for sandwiches. Congratulations.
Congratulations, you too.
Exciting stuff. So,
yep.
With that, Jim, are we out of here?
Yeah, let's bounce.
End this weekend with a W. Be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. Bucko Brew. We'll discuss some more Pirate stuff as always with Jim and I. And another week of Pirates baseball. Aren't we so lucky? Hey, this week as well, Jim Callis will be on for our MLB draft special. So check us out then as well. So that way we can talk about the future. Never enough of that in Pirates world. So yeah, go and join us. Our WNS9 this week is with Jim Callis. So that'll be fun as well. We love you all. Go ahead, like Jim told you earlier, subscribe, do all the fun stuff, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
See you guys. All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.